One of the best things that make us happy is when we do things for others.
If that voice is inside of me, you'll see it in my body language.
It is so hard to be humble, and yet the only way to learn is to be humble.
My mantra is finite heartbeats, infinite possibilities.
Having smart people around you can give you a lot of reality check.
Survival of the fittest is entrepreneurship.
This idea of never give up is kind of, it's one of these things that's been advertised, and it's not really a good entrepreneur. If you're losing, if it's not working, you have to be moving around, avoid the pain, go across it. It's
right.
Just staying there and say, I'm not going to change. This is my idea. I'm going to go down with the ship. That's not entrepreneurship. That's foolishness.
Yeah, it's really not smart.
It's really not smart.
Yeah.
So what the question becomes, when do you give up an idea? What goes through the mechanics of the thinking, and at what point do you say, okay, I've tried to be going around it, I've tried to do things with it, but what do you say, maybe I should give up? Ever? Never?
Yeah, as you know, Sid, my latest give up has been a product that I tried to bring to market that we had almost ready for user trials just as the pandemic hit. And the smart thing for me to do at that time would have been to pause. And I didn't. And I had committed my own resources to building this product. And I, at the end of the day, I had resource limitations, and the market hadn't come back yet, and I had to wind it down. And when I say wind it down, I mean, I kind of did it in stages, which was even more painful because I thought I could pivot and pivot and pivot to get to a place where we could bring something out to the market. And it turns out I didn't analyze the potential new solutions and whether or not I really had a team that knew how to address that new market. And of course, we worked on that and didn't make it. So I would say the real issue is, even after I've turned down this company, I still have that itch, because still no one has built the product I wanted to build. I shouldn't say they haven't built the product. They haven't built a solution to the problem that I was building, because with the advent of what's happened over the last 5 or 10 years in AI and devices and so on, it's probable that in my thinking about how I would do the same solution, I would approach it differently. So it's like, well, I haven't really given up, because I'm still thinking about not the business or whatever I had going, but the problem I wanted to solve.
So the itching of the problem that we see as an entrepreneur, and I want to talk to you about this chasing the problem, because I know this is important. But we're always looking for problems. I call them worthy problems to solve. For example, if I go into a restaurant, by my nature, I start figuring out how much is this guy making. Not that I care about how much the guy is making, but I kind of say, oh, there's so many seats here. If they turn it around by this, and the average menu is this. It's not. It's just the nature of the way, when your wiring is done.
Right.
But you mentioned the project that you work with, and just for the benefit of the audience, that was tens of millions of dollars. It wasn't like a little bitty thing. And it was a big deal with a lot of opportunities. But at some point, be it the challenge of COVID, be it the challenge of people, and you and I have talked about the people scenario there. The DNA of people working in certain situations should be different than the DNA of the people working in a different situation. But would you say that you moved too slow? Because you mentioned this idea of the recognizing the intelligence, if you would, the data, the information. Was it that you didn't have the information, or was it that you pushed back against realizing that information and kept your bias in it, that your positive nature of it can be done?
No, in my past activities, I usually I start out with a problem, and then I've seen something that works a certain way, and I say, well, if I had that, whatever, I could use that to do that instead of that.
Thanks for watching. You can catch the full Expert Circle sessions through the links in the description or the pinned comment below. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you inside the Academy.